Hello, welcome to HWCA's first open public class, where we're going to talk today about holistic gut health therapy, how HWCA defines this, and why we're using this, why nutrition and even just a gut healing diet isn't enough. So as you know, these classes are going to be a little short and brief. You're going to get limited access to them the first time. So being a subscriber, thank you for following us and for being part of our community. And you get access to these once a week if you're a subscriber to HWCA. So if you're not and you find this some other way or someone sends it to you, make sure to subscribe at hwcacoach.com and you'll get some pretty cool videos done by me, Coach Britt, and done by multiple graduates and students who will be contributing as well. So anyway, so today, a holistic gut health therapy, that is what we practice at HWCA, and I'm going to give you a little bit of an explanation as to why we call it that and why everyone should kind of look at gut healing in a holistic way. So when you hear the word holistic, what that generally is referring to is a combination of mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual wellness. It's all areas of wellness, all the things that make us humans and not robots, right? So when we're talking about the gut, it operates in a very similar way. If we just focus on one component, be it the physical dietary component, while this is a powerful piece to focus on, we teach it a lot, we absolutely love gut health nutrition, it's not the only piece of the puzzle. There's a full component, and depending on the person, we are not doctors and we are not, able to diagnose or treat. Even a professional doctor is probably not going to be able to necessarily pinpoint what avenue for an individual is really causing a lot of their gut ailments. So we can look at diet, but it may not be necessarily even the initial factor. So we're going to go over a few of these different factors and what some of them are and why we focus on an all-encompassing, what we call holistic gut health therapy approach at HWCA with our clients, with our students. This is what they learn how to do intricately. So if you need one of them, always, message us through the site, whatever, we'll connect you to an awesome coach. So anyways, I'm going to explain a little bit about what this is, and it'll make more sense as to why every individual needs to look at not only the importance of gut health, but really how they are treating it and what, how they're approaching dealing with it. Like I said, let's go beyond nutrition, guys. Okay, so it is, like I said, it's a mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health. That's holistic health. So holistic gut therapy, when we call that, is a combination of the mental, emotional, and physical parts of restoration. We don't want to use the word healing. Let's say restoration, not only of the gut, but of the whole entire person. And what can be thrown in all of these areas actually help throw the gut out of whack. So while we can't say exactly what area maybe is of higher concern for one individual, if we focus on it all as a whole, then we really can't miss out this way. And we're giving them the best, either ourselves or whoever we're helping, we're really giving them the best help that we possibly can. So the gut is a funny thing. This isn't a video on the details of gut health. That's in the other stuff we do. You'll learn all about that as a coach, how the gut actually functions. But one thing that we want to kind of just briefly go over is that there's two really main phases of actual gut restoration physically, and that is the restoration of the structure itself, and then the population balancing of the bacteria and organisms that reside within the gut and have such a massive control over all functionality of the entire body. So that's what we're really aiming at. Now, ironically and oddly to some people it makes all the sense. We need to come at this with a multidimensional approach. It can't just be, even though we're talking about a physical part of the body, we still have to come at it with multiple avenues for healing. So emotions, our emotional self, this has a massive effect on the gut and essentially then the overall body, since the gut's the center of pretty much everything we do. Do you know that extreme grief actually from losing a loved one increases heart attack risk by 21 times immediately following the death of a loved one. That's why you'll see some people lose a spouse or something and then go have a heart attack or suffer something shortly after. So when they say, die of a broken heart, these emotions, a lot of these metaphorical things that we say actually have very real ties to our physical body. The extreme grief is such an extreme. We're going to separate emotions and stress, even though they're not necessarily separated, just to kind of define how they're a little bit of a different avenue here. But it's really serious. So then there's things like psychosomatic disorders, where it's actually a manifestation that they believe starts with emotions and thoughts and negative traumas and experiences, and the body actually acts it out in physical symptoms and ways. Now, this is generally includes anywhere where they really see psychosomatic illness take place. They often see it in the respiratory system, the cardiovascular system, and the GI tract. So these are 3 areas of the body where we really see the effects of trauma. And psychosomatic illness is basically referring to the theory, and which there's a lot to back it up now, that when our body experiences such strong emotional traumas, that what it does is it actually tries to protect our conscious mind by distracting us. So like, let's say a child goes through something really, really hard. It will kind of want to bury that, but that stuff can't get buried. So what happens is it manifests it distracts essentially by, let's say, a gut issue, a chronic IBS problems. Maybe it's joint inflammation, or like they say, respiratory heart stuff. So it's just a component, like I said, that needs to be taken into account. That restoration in an emotional sense and in a mental sense, and as well as the physical, is just as important for these physical symptoms as is the physical things that we do to help take care of them. Stress has a massive impact on the gut, and stress is not just the common stress that we think. There's environmental stress, there's emotional stress, like we say, trauma stress, etc. Major effect on the gut. So it lowers the overall immune system of the entire body. It ends up increasing inflammation and the inflammation in the brain. So now that's how we see, the brain-gut connection is so massive. We see a greater increase of, depression and anxiety based on overall inflammation levels. Those tend to go hand in hand. Now, again, why we focus on everything is that we can't say which comes first. We can't sit back and look at a person and necessarily say that your stress alone caused your gut issue that's leading to the inflammation and your depression, etc. We can't also say that your diet and your offset gut is what led to the inflammation that then led to the depression, etc., or that the depression started at first, etc. We can't say that. So if we nurture all of it in every way, that's ultimate wellness, and that will have a much greater impact over physical symptoms than just doing one thing, than just focusing on diet or just focusing on therapy, etc. When we are extremely stressed, this is really impactful. When we're very stressed, our cortisol rises, etc. We go into what we call fight or flight mode. What this does is that actually the body will prioritize where blood needs to go. So when you got to run from danger, which is how your body perceives stress, they perceive an imminent danger that you need to flee from. So when your body needs to run from stress, you need blood to go to the areas in the organs that need to get you in a full sprint, that needs you to run from the lion, so to speak. So it's going to go to your cardiovascular system. It's going to go to, it's going to get your blood pumping through, your heart needs to get that blood pumping through your entire body so that your muscles can make the most of all this, right? So where it steals from is it steals the blood that's supposed to be going to your gut and keeping it alive. So when we deal with chronic gut issues, we are robbing blood supply to our gut. And there's multiple things in our habits, in our daily lives and activities and etc. that do this to our gut on a chronic basis. It's not just the obvious stress. It's a lot of different things. And when we get, like I said, if for anyone who takes our courses as students, you'll get into what a lot of those different things are. So in closing, this is what's so important, whether it be your own personal healing that you're looking at and that you're concerned about, or help guiding other people through it. This is why just nutrition alone isn't enough. Just supplements alone isn't enough. Just therapy alone isn't enough. Just meditation alone isn't enough, etc. We need to understand that the body operates as this all-encompassing circular like ball of energy. It has a mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual component. So when we're talking about healing anything in our body, especially the gut, especially since it's the foundation of overall wellness, we need to come at it with that multi-dimensional approach. And we have really, really pioneered this with our coaches. We don't teach just nutrition. We teach gut health. We teach the holistic gut therapy, which is more what this is, to our coaches, and it's applicable to every single person. It's not like they just have a niche where they're only helping people with obvious GI issues. They're helping all kinds of people by doing this. We're strengthening the entire body, mind, and spirit by using this approach, and we are ultimately helping people achieve a way more advanced state of life and well-being. So I hope that quick little rundown was enjoyable for you guys. I hope you were enlightened to something. Maybe it caused some questions and some you can read more on our blogs at HWCAcoach.com. Feel free to peruse whatever you want. And if pursuing more education and becoming a coach and being someone who's out there impacting other people and using these techniques to really empower the world of wellness, and if that's what interests you, again, message us through HWCAcoach.com. We'll be happy to schedule an interview time with you. We'll chat on a no pressure call about everything we do, all the options available to you, and how you can use it. So thank you guys for week 1. Tune in next week. It shouldn't be me, it'll be someone else, and we will let you know this week what the class next week is going to be about. And you can access this for probably the next week solid by being a subscriber. So thank you for being part of our community. Thank you for joining and watching us today, and enjoy the rest of your week.